Good afternoon and happy Monday, Fit Life Queens. Thank you so much for joining me on today's live training, all about setting yourself up for success for the new year. So I'm very excited to dive into this topic as I believe it is super important to reflect on our year on 2024 and set those goals and really set that foundation for success moving into 2025 so that you can have your best year yet. So something that we are doing this year inside the Fit Life Tribe is mapping out our whole 2025 so we can have the best year yet. So why is that important? I believe that in order to know where we're going, we have to know where we've been. And so today we're going to go over reflection. We're going to go over some goal setting, and we're going to go over what it takes to actually take action towards those goals that you have set for yourself. So I will be sharing with you today the PDF that I got from Mel Robbins. She has been doing this for 20 years. And as you guys all know, Mel Robbins she's one of my idols. She's one of the most successful women and entrepreneurs out there. And I just look up to her so much. I love her books. For any of you who don't know, we have done multiple challenges inside the Fit Life that were based off of books that we read from Mel Robbins. So like the high five, I think high five. I don't know what it was called, but it was we did a high five challenge. And man, that was super, super powerful. We've read the 5 second rule, which also another amazing, amazing book, which is very helpful when it comes to setting your goals, following and actually taking action. I think it's easy for a lot of people to say they want certain things to happen in their lives, but the hardest part is taking action. And one of the things that she talks about in her 5 second rule is to literally count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just take a step towards whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe that's getting out of bed. Maybe that's making a phone call. It's as easy as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start dialing the number. Oh crap, I guess I better talk to this person. There's so many ways you can use that 5 second rule to just take that action. So again, I think it's important to start with that reflection. So we're gonna actually, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share my share my screen with you all so that you can see this PDF that I am talking about. And we are going to share it with you as well so that you can also create your best year yet. So 2025, it's going to be your best year. We know it. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to make this your best year? So again, first of all, we have to start by reflecting on the past year. And one thing that I love from this guide, so again, I'll be sharing this with you, is first of all, print this out. That's going to be very, very helpful. And then she actually included some amazing podcasts for you to refer to. So if you love listening to podcasts, I definitely highly, highly recommend checking out these questions. So right here, or not, not these questions, these podcasts. So check out these podcasts. All right. But first of all, these are the questions that I would like for you to start by reflecting on. First of all, what went well for you this year? What didn't work? And what did you learn about yourself? And as we dive into this PDF, you'll see that she actually breaks it into these categories for you. Okay. So one thing that I thought was super powerful, of course, is we have to get to where we're going, we have to know where we've been. And we forget. I think a lot of times we get into it's easier to remember the negative things that happen in our life versus the positive things. So with that, use your phone. Use your phone as a guide in order to reflect on the things that you have done in the past year. So you can go through your camera roll and reflect on what you did in January last year or this year, what you did in February, what you did in March, and so on. Really take a look at all of those highlights, reflect, and reflect on what went well and what didn't go so well. What do you want to happen again? And again, coming back to that third question, what did you learn about yourself in the process? So let's kind of dive into what this looks like. Hi, Cami. So again, what are some of the things that really stuck out to you over the past 12 months? So right here, I love this, how everything is broken down in here, because you can write down, several things from each month, kind of reflect on each of those months. And then this is going to help you see where you've been so we can figure out where we want to go, right? So we're going to reflect on each month over the next or over the 12 months of 2024. And that's going to help us go into those three questions to reflect on: what went well this year, what didn't work, and what did you learn about yourself? Okay, so those questions are right here, are in your in this questionnaire or in this booklet for you as well. So then from there, of course, it's easy to say like what went well, what didn't go well, just in general, but then it's diving a little bit deeper into different categories into your life is also going to help you get more clarity, get clearer on where you want to go in the future. So I always love breaking this down into different categories. So as you'll see, this PDF is broken down into health and wellness, career, money, or school, relationship, love, and friendship, fun and happiness, and then purpose, spirituality, and meaning. So really get a little bit deeper in those 5 areas of your life and just really elaborate on things that you may need to focus on. So for me, I know every now and then throughout the year, this is also something I've done with like a web of life, where you realize if you start focusing on one area of your life, you could be, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 10, you're really focusing on your career. Then you realize that your relationship, your marriage, your friendships, those relationships, you're not giving as much to those areas. So I think that's important to take that big picture and know that we want to be like a 7 or 8, like very equally distributed in all of these different categories of our lives. So that is where we're going to begin. So again, that third question, so those reflection questions that we started with, you're going to want to break it down into each category for each of those questions. So what did you learn about yourself over the past year in those 5 categories as well? So now when we are actually defining our goals for the new year, this is where we really want to dive into those setting specific actionable goals. So I always come back to SMART goals when I'm thinking about my goals for the future. Are they specific? Are they measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? Is it time? And then putting a time bound on it. So one thing I love about this workbook and how Mel Robbins breaks this down is, oh, and this is fun too, there's a little personal audit in here as well. So make sure you guys download this and I'll share this link with you again. So what Mel Robbins does is she really focuses on a start, stop, start, continue framework when it comes to moving forward and actually setting those goals to be able to take action. So what are things that you're going to stop doing next year? And these are broken down into those 5 categories again. So stop. This is a habit or an action that no longer serves you. So maybe this is, when it comes to your health and wellness, maybe this is hitting snooze. Hitting that snooze button is not serving you. So that is one thing we want to stop. Start. New habits or actions aligned with your goals. What is something new? Like what is a new goal or habit or action that you want to take that's going to help you attain your new goals? This could be this could be a better morning routine, right? So now we've stopped hitting the snooze button and we've created a morning routine that's going to help us do something for ourselves before we are rushing through our day, taking care of everybody else, taking care of the family, taking care of your business. What is something that you can do for yourself? And then continue actions that are already helping you make progress. So maybe you are already working out on a regular basis. So that is something that is going to help you towards your health and wellness goals. So that is something you want to continue doing. So I want you to identify and take action for these 5 categories in your life that you want to focus on. So again, start, stop, start, and continue. Now, what can you do in the next 5 minutes to get started? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how can I take one small action that's going to help lead to momentum to really reach my goals in the new year, to make 2025 your best year. What is something you can do? So maybe that's, getting a copy of this workbook, printing it off. Cammie's in the car, so she can't print it off right now.
Well, I already printed it.
Oh, awesome. Have you started it?
No, but I will.
Yes.
Right now in the car, I'm going to make a list in my phone of some of the ideas I'm having. So that'll
Oh,
just get me, one step ahead of the game.
perfect. Yes. I know we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper next year as well, but this is just getting
Cool.
that framework started. Which I did listen to, I've listened to some of the podcasts. So at the top of this workbook, there's like 6 um podcasts from Mel Robbins that are great. She dives a little bit deeper into this PDF as well. So this is kind of just a quick little overview talking about, reflection. And then I love her start or stop, start, continue. I think that's a great framework to use when setting your goals. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I've always done the SMART goals. And but I've never really thought about what are, I guess I've thought of the habits, like what is no longer serving me, but I've never thought of it in this way. So it's just nice to hear it in a different light, I guess, or different framework. So, yes. And then when it comes to printing this off, make sure that you guys are actually going in and start writing down those those steps. So what is that first small step, that small action that you can take to start building momentum for a successful new year? So first of all, we've got to start by reflection, right? We've got to reflect on 2024 before we can set those goals, before we can take action to have our most successful 2025. So that is the main thing I wanted to share with you guys today was this amazing PDF that we got from Mel Robbins. And let me see if there's anything else from this workbook I want to share with you. So we've kind of already covered it all. Just really breaking it into those 5 different categories, creating that plan, stop, continue, start. And I think, for me personally, it's actually just taking the moment, I would say 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes sitting down to actually work, like carve out that time to work on this. For me, the step that I'm going to do, Cammie, which this might help you as well, is, that reflection part where we're going through our camera roll is I'm going to create folders in my phone so that I can put these in those folders. Or maybe I'll just do that's what I think I'll do. I'll do a 2024 folder and I'll move photos, like my highlight photos into that folder so that I can go through it a little bit easier and have like a 2024 folder to reflect on. So that's going to be my actionable step that I do today. And then once you set your goals, right, then now we pick one thing that we're going to focus on over the next 12 months. So we've, journaling is a great way to help you really get focused and clear on what it is that really matters to you to move forward. And I think one thing that I love about this framework is we're reflecting on the year, and that helps us determine what is important to us. Like going through our camera roll helps us see, like, what did we take more pictures of? I was listening to one of Mel Robbins' podcast, and she talked about how she had more pictures of sunrises because her goal for one of her goals last year was to um, kind of slow down a little bit and be more present. And so she was taking a lot of pictures of sunrises. So maybe there's a pattern that you'll notice in your camera roll. Maybe it's, taking photos of animals, or maybe it is something that has to do with the outdoors. So kind of as you're flipping through your camera rolls, see if anything triggers you that helps you really notice something that really matters to you in your life. So dive deep into that. And then, of course, this says, is your why strong enough? So again, coming up with that why. That why is always important. I know we talk about it all of the time, but I love that it's everywhere that I go, it's reinforced. Always talking about that why. So make sure that when you're doing this exercise, you also go into why are these goals important to you? And that way you have that drive to push through on those days where it's a little bit challenging and you don't really feel like getting out of bed. You want to hit that snooze button for the third time and you're like, crap. But I made this commitment to myself, and this is why it's important to me. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, the beginning of this training, use that 5-second rule, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hop out of bed. Don't let your brain talk you out of it. So that's a really, really powerful tool as well. Okay, so that is today's training. Again, reflect, set goals, and then take action. Make sure to print out this workbook. And yeah, Cammie's already got it printed out. I've got it printed out as well. So I'm excited to dive deeper into this. But that is all I have for you guys. Cammie, do you have any questions? No. Okay, sorry. I was
I
scrolling
was
down.
trying to figure out how to unmute myself.
Oh.
Um, I actually didn't hear where to get the podcast because she has so many. Is it just a specific one on this workbook?
They're not numbered, but I can share the numbers with you because I
Okay.
I went through and I saved them all. So
Oh,
I'll take a screenshot and I'll share them with you. Okay.
okay, thank
I'll
you.
do that afterwards. You are so welcome. Here, let me hit unpause. Let's stop recording.
Here you go.
Well, hold on.